Well, good morning and welcome back to the channel. My name's Emery. I'm a farmer here on Dryland Dudes, and I'm finally done with some of my meetings. Back to work today. Beautiful weather today, and will be beautiful for the next couple of days. Got a chance of some severe weather. Today's Friday, Sunday afternoon. Don't really want that, but maybe if that's our best chance for rain, be looking forward to hopefully getting some of that because had some good meetings just talking about different things for cotton industry, some of the pressures from trade wars, farm bill stuff. Got some CUs on fertilizer and nutrient needs and chemical and pests, all the stuff. So it was good. I may make a video someday kind of talking about the challenges of cotton versus like polyester products and kind of the issue there with microplastics. The teaser I'll give you here is there's research that says that each year the average person eats a credit card worth of plastic every year from this microplastics that are in our waters and our food sources, and a lot of that's from things like polyester. So I'll do a longer video on that sometime in the future. So we also went to, when I was at Abilene, I picked up those cylinders from the tractor, 8130 hitch lift cylinders. So they got those rebuilt. And then I don't know if I told you or not about this piece. This is a wing on the our scraper blade, and one of us, and it wasn't me, had a little bit of a boo-boo and bent this up. And so the same place that our filter, Abilene Hydraulics, they straightened that out for us. So I think it looks pretty good. I don't know if I showed you how it was bent before, but these ears were bent on both of them. That's just where it hinges. And then the biggest bend was down there. I'll get it out later and I'll show you that more in depth. So it's good to make that trip and get that done so I can get the 8130 buttoned up and make sure all my stuff is not leaking, and maybe the starter works better by chance. I can get it hooked up to the sprayer and start getting that close to going. I'm going to keep working on getting some more junk out of this nurse trailer. It's getting better, but still some stuff to get out. It's a lot better than it was, but it's just hard to get it to flow where I want it to go. So I'm gonna work on this a little bit more, get it cleaned out, and then hopefully this can dry. It will dry. I just need it to dry, and then I'm gonna go do the other stuff over there. Well, I tilted the trailer back and forth a few times, and pretty good for union work if you ask me. So it's not perfect, but I got a filter right there. I don't know if it's in there right now. I'll check it. If not, we have the filter. It's just not maybe in that housing. I don't remember if I took it out or what. But that is good. I can't put the plug in the bottom of that yet because that's where I'd have to lay. So that's clean. Good to get that out. I'm going to try to get this filter off and take a look at it if there's anything in there. That'll catch some of the other stuff. And then in the sprayer itself, we got a couple filters that'll catch other fines that don't, in the pump, I figure some of that'll get kind of reconstituted and chopped up, and then we'll catch any of the other stuff in the filters, hopefully not in the strainers at the nozzles. That's part of it, I guess. But all right, let me get that filter out. No filter. I need to get that in there. I think we must have put some goop on that because it kind of leaks a little bit. So I'm gonna leave that out for now so I remember to put that back in with the filter. While I got water turned on here, I'm gonna spray up inside of this thingamajig. So I need a strip till, I need a shred, I need to spray the fallow ground for weeds, and then I also at some point need to spray the wheat, but it's so little I don't want to spray it yet until it grows a little bit, and we need some rain for that. So that's the last of my priority. Is his wheat's earlier, so he's got to get out there and get some chemical on that, try to keep weeds down. I'll need to do that, but later when it's actually growing bigger, you know. All right, I'm gonna put this wing back on the other side, but this is the way it's supposed to look. This pin is really loose, and it's just as a hinge. Something happened, and you see how that's already, that's kind of kicking out a little bit. Well, on the other side, I'll show you that failed, which allowed this to come free of this, and so this was free and flopping, and it creased it like right down here, bent this back, bent these ears, but didn't mess up this bar at all, which I'm very surprised about. I mean, I guess it's good welds, but the pin didn't bend too much at all. A little bit there at the top, but this piece didn't get any kind of bend or break welds that we realized or see, but this piece failed. So we'll probably come back with something thicker here, because that holds that in. So I'm going to carry that big monster over here. You can be impressed. All right, so it goes like this, but I need to flip it around for now. I'm not doing this in a very efficient way. Just want to see if everything lines up like it should. Pretty good, I guess. I mean, it fit. I'm not gonna bend this back, just set it in there so we have it, but that's how they ride when we're not using the box end. I mean, we could straighten that a little bit. I think it's probably fine. We just need to fix that for sure. So yeah, as you can see, it was creased right through here. They did a good job. All right, going for low-hanging fruit. Hopefully low-hanging fruit. Maybe this is broke loose over soaking. We're gonna give it a shot. I really don't want to twist it off. I told you all that. If I can't get it off, I guess I'm gonna get the torch out and heat it. But I'm hoping, Lord, make this come loose. Well, that battery's a little low. Let me try a new battery just in case. Or this is 3. I don't want to do this much. Okay, it's moving some. Yes. Thank you. Jehovah Jireh. Talking about. Comes out so easy now. Got her done. There's a bunch of dirt in there, so I got that dirt out, and now it goes freely. So dirt just gets down in here and then rust those bolts out, and or get some rust on those bolts. So that part's done. Now onto those lift cylinders. All right, first thing I'm going to do, got these pins out top and bottom. I'm just going to clean up in these areas, so those clean out any grease, put some new grease in, but there's just dirt. Great way to do this, besides just get it wet and wipe it down. I'm mostly concerned with the inside where the pins go, but while I got it off, go ahead and clean up these faces, so I'm a little too. All right, got the pins all cleaned up. Now I'm going to try to position this heavy sucker in the right position, which I think is like that. Oh, I never knew there was a grease dirt on both sides of this top piece, so learn something new every day. Holy moly. Dang it, I wanted to put some, going back, I wanted to put some Never Seas. Keep calling it, we always call it Never Seas, but it's really anti-Z's. So I get the bottom pin in, it'll kind of rest. Booyah! Good deal. Bottom pin is in. Looks like I need to be able to turn this. Holy moly. Alright, I gotta find something to turn that. Alright, let's try this again. I got it in. Took a little bit of persuasion, but so I was kind of surprised that this is what holds these pins in. Is just there's a little slot cut in there's a little slot cut in these pins, and then you just bolt these plates here, hold that pin from sliding out. Pretty simple. So get these in, and then hose goes back, and then do it again on the other side. Finally got that pin to go on the rest of the way, so get this buttoned up. Dad's here now. That's good. We're gonna get this thing tested. Maybe we can. There we go. Maybe a little more. Well, I'm close. I just got to get this all tightened up, and then I got to hook hoses up, and then I'd be finished. So I'm.
Did you put the fitting in already?
No, I've got them right there. I still need to put the O-rings on it. Well, we got it. Dad's leaving. I didn't get it filmed starting, but I was a little nervous that stuff was going to be possibly an issue, but it wasn't. Everything worked good. No leaks under here. That was problem number one. No leaks with all these fittings, and the cylinders all look good. No leak up there where we connected the other end of the hose. Starter worked decent. I think it was better, but it is warmer today, so it's hard to know on a warm day versus a cold day. So, but overall, success. Very nice. So we're going to I'm going to leave. Wait, I'm trying to think if there's another thing I need to do on this. There may be a seal out, or starting to come out, like on the A260. That one maybe, I don't know. Let me go look on the other side. I think those are good for now. I got parts for them. I don't know. I thought I had to replace something on there, but I guess I don't, which I'm okay with. So this tractor is good. Dare I say it's good. So I can get it hooked up to the sprayer and eventually get that unwinterized and clean the nozzles and everything, make sure it is ready to go for field work. Got to do a little bit more on the nurse trailer. So that's good. I'm glad to get that going. And so when I get back from lunch, I'm going to get those pins out of that tractor. I talked to the guy at the John Deere house. He suggested jacking up one side to help that pin come up a little higher, and so I can get that new piece in. So I'm going to try that after lunch. I'm hoping that works. So, man, get some stuff knocked out. See you after lunch. I'm back. We're going to jack this tractor up. But first, I need a block. That ought to work. So, I'm hoping this is going to work real slick. And maybe I can get the pin out completely, which would be awesome. I just don't know really what to expect on how much it's going to change. It's going to be enough, I'm pretty confident, to be able to get the pin up high enough to get that bottom seal out. But is it going to be enough to get the pin all the way out? That's what we're about to find out. I love this thing. I hate jacking up on those. Jack up on these bolts here. let's not get too crazy. Let's see. So for sure, the axle's going down. Let's find out how much it changed this. I can't do this with two hands. Can I get one in there? Maybe. Might have helped. I'm gonna go raise it up a little. Oh, I don't have to go anywhere. I can reach it. I'm just curious to see how if this changes. My jack may be bottomed out. All right, I'm hoping that I can just prise up a little bit. And get this thing pushed in there with some persuasion. There we go. Alright, I think I got it pretty good in there. Won't know until I start driving that pin back in. So I guess we'll let the jack down. And those two look okay. That top one I think is going to be okay. So if I can just get that pin to go down easy in that spot, then this side will be good, and I got to try the other. So that's how much I gained by jacking it up, which is what I needed. Not much, but to get the bottom one in. Now we just gotta see if we can push it back in. Oh yeah, sweet. That was easy. I like things that are easy. And then just like on that other deal, it's just a bolt and a washer. Goes in the slot of that pin, and that's what does it. All right. Could have swore that was a 15. It's an 18. In farming, at least in John Deere products, lots of 15s, 13s, 15s, 18s, and 15, 16s or 24s, and inch and an eighth. But really 15s, 18s, 13s, 15s, 18s, and 24s. A lot of those. All right, more business on this side. All right, so see that? That's the seal that's coming loose, and it needs to go down. I just have having trouble getting much movement down. So I don't know. Sweet. I was having trouble. I'm about to lose the pin completely. That's just, she gone. And that new one just slides right in there. I was an idiot before. I wasn't thinking about using a punch to go from there. That's what I should have done without jacking it up. Oh, stupid. Get lots of grease build up in here. I mean, you got to keep it greased, but maybe I'm using too much. There may not be one underneath there either. Kind of looks like it's missing. I believe it is. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and, there's an O-ring that's kind of holding that, so I think that'll stay. I'm gonna go ahead and put one in the top. No. Yeah, put one in the bottom first. I think it'd be easier. And then slide in the top. I can't believe. You guys are all probably like, stupid. Just use a punch to hit that thing down. These little foam things, $18. I know there's got to be a cheaper solution. But I don't have it. So I'm just going to use what I got. Now let's see if I can. Sweet. Okay, so bottom one is in. Looks good. Now the top one. Keyword should be easier. But I got to prise down like that now. Kind of compress that bottom one a little bit. Booyah! That's a win. Trashman's here, having to back up in front of me. No pressure. He must have cameras because he got really close to that trash can earlier. All right, I'm gonna do some greasing. Gotta grease all the baskets. I gotta use a different grease for those hinge points. That's we use a moly grease there. That's more for metal on metal. And then I gotta grease the front end of the tractor and the hitch of the tractor. So here I go. All right, I got the front end greased. I'm about to turn on the tractor, lower the plow to get to the hitch and the wings, hinges better. But while the plow's up, now's the time to put the chains on, the pull chains. These pull chains keep the plow. The implement, if you get frustrated that we call everything a plow in Texas, or I don't know, maybe you just get frustrated with me. Or maybe you don't get frustrated with me at all, and I just put that thought in your head. Sorry. But I just call everything a plow. Tillage, if you will. But if we didn't have these chains, especially when we're pulling a load, like we are when we're strip tilling, the plow can really pull the tractor around because the ground's not consistently hard, so it may be pulling harder over here and it'll pull the tractor. So with the chains, in theory, it helps with that. And I don't think it's just a theory. I think it's legitimate. Because our field cultivator does not have chains, and it doesn't pull super hard, but it does tend to want to walk a little bit. gotta do this when the plow is up because these chains are meant to be tight or taut whenever the plow is down. So you put it up, you set it up while the plow is up and there's no tension on the chains. And it goes in the ground, or it tightens up, tensions up perfectly later. I think something's off on my chains. This one seems way too tight, and this one's for sure way too loose. So I don't know what that's all about, but I will get to the bottom of it. All right, now I can finish my greasing. Three spots to grease for each cylinder. See that? That's what we're looking for. And then this one's always hard. I know everyone's got an opinion on grease, what they use. You know, back in, like after COVID, we use this John Deere polyurea grease for most things. It was hard to get. I heard a factory burn that made the cardboard tubes. Not even the grease, it was the tubes they put the grease in. So we couldn't get it. We ended up scraping by and finding some random places. We just have never used anything else. I know there's other good options, but it's kind of like with the oil. If it's never had anything else, it's kind of, I don't know if I want to be the one to change it. I don't know. But let me know what your favorite grease is, and your favorite oil brand, maybe. But we use this polyurea for pretty much everything. And then I'll show you. So this is the polyurea that we use, and then this is the stuff we use for more kind of like metal on metal applications. It's thinner and stickier, but it's good for this application, like these hinge pins. Here and here, and I hope that sometimes grease won't go in these very good if they're in a bind. That is doing good. Coming out right there, see it? I'm gonna pick up some of this grease that fell on the ground when I was greasing these baskets, because I will find these. They'll get stuck in my shoes, and I'll bring them into the house, or Dad will, and we'll get in trouble, or I'll get in trouble because I'm the one that left it. So I'm just going to pick up. So you might remember last year I used this same toolbar to put out fertilizer. I'm not putting out fertilizer this year. I don't know if that fertilizer, it was set up so we had such beautiful weather, great moisture, had a great stand, and then the heat came and the rain turned off. I don't know when that fertilizer hit or if it helped, or I don't know. But it is very dry at the moment. The price of cotton is very, very low at the moment. So it it doesn't seem like it makes sense to put out fertilizer this year at this point. Could always come back and, I don't know. I have the thoughts of turning an old toolbar into a fertilizer, like a side dressing rig. So could always come back and do that, but it doesn't make sense at this point. When water is our limiting factor above all else. Like, yes, cotton needs nitrogen, it needs potassium, it needs phosphorus, it needs all that, but it needs water most of all. So it doesn't matter if the fertility is perfect if there's no water. So I'm just gonna forego it and save the money, because I think it'd be a waste for this crop. And examples of that is, out here, what we should expect here is a true yield goal is probably 3/4 of a bale to the acre, somewhere around in there. We could say a bale. We'd love to average that. It's just we get that sometimes, but most, like this year, it was not. It was half of that, or a little over half of that. So, and that was poor, but that's realistic for us. We're not going to go crazy. In 2016, Dad made 2 bales to the land on a lot of farms, and he never fertilized. He didn't do any fertilization. He didn't do anything special. He just planted it, and we got timely rains, and it just did it. And so, could he have made more with some fertilizer? Yeah, probably so. But he also made 2 bales and didn't spend any money on fertilizer, and that was really, really good for him and for us. So, where's the truth? Somewhere in the middle. That's something we were talking about yesterday at our cotton meetings. The CEUs was putting in all these input ideas of what do you want to make as a yield goal. Well, it's great, but water. We need water, and we're going to get 24 inches of rain a year around here. And so I'm not fertilizing this year. That was the long answer. I'm not going to put any fertilizer down when I strip till this year. That setup is good to go. Unless I forgot something, but it can't be anything big. I think it's ready to go. So I may try that some, I don't know if this afternoon, probably tomorrow is my goal to try some. It may be too dry and I may just bring up too many clods. If that's the case, I don't know. I'd have to wait for rain. Well, there's a lot of things waiting for rain. So at some point I gotta just get it done. So I'm hoping that I can do that and get some of that going, and it won't be too cloudy. I mean, I'm gonna go over it a second time and bust it up, but I hope I can do some of that tomorrow. And if I get everything done, then maybe this evening, but we'll see. Next, I'm gonna take the skid steer back and go get the water trailer. I put some water in, and I'm going to run that pump and get that oil warmed up so I can drain that oil, get new fresh oil in there, and then check the tires, check the wheel bearings on that trailer. I haven't done that in a while. I want to try to check wheel bearings on a lot of stuff, just because I don't ever think about doing it, and I've got the time, so I'm going to try to do it ahead of time. Maybe just slight play. That's real subtle. I don't know if I'll be able to tighten that nut enough, or I'm afraid if I try to tighten that I won't be able to get that nut. The next slot will be too tight, so I think it's okay. Well, I put a little more weight, or a little more water in here than I was wanting to. I just needed a little bit to circulate it. So it was a little heavy for the skid steer to pick up, but I couldn't get this side up as good for some reason, but that back one's a little looser than any of the others on the other side. So I just need to check it when there's less water in there, which is what I was gonna do. There's nothing crazy. I think it's gonna be fine. I just messed up. Didn't leave myself. I just put too much water in. That's all I did. First thing I gotta do, I meant to grab that filter from my dad when he was here, but I forgot. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this housing back in so I can run water. If I don't have this in, all that water is gonna come out where I have this out, if that makes sense. All right, I'm gonna turn this on. That'll allow the pump to pull water, and then I want it to recirculate. So that's this one. If I have that closed, then it'll send it to here, and I don't want to do that. I just want to throw it back in. I think I need to check, see if this pump is seized. Sometimes those impellers get frozen. I think it's okay. Turn that on. I'll check the oil even though I'm about to drain it. Yeah, right there. You want that right at the edge of the lip. Choke on. Gas is on. Pump it. Let's check in here. Yep. All looks good to me. Oh. Alright, so I'll just let that run for a minute. Let that oil get nice and hot. Drain it. While I'm waiting on that, I'm going to get these tires pressure checked. Looking for 90 pounds. All right, I think that's a 10 millimeter. All right, that all worked out pretty slick. I always say, like, I always thought, changing oil is kind of daunting. If you think about, like, first time ever doing it, but changing oil is easy. It's just messy sometimes, but it's not hard to do. So if you're afraid to change oil, just go for it. All you need is the right filter. Search it up. You need the right oil. Your owner's manual will tell you that. How much? Owner's manual will tell you that. And just the right wrench or socket to fit on your drain plug, filter wrench, and something to catch your oil. Warm up the engine, drain the oil, undo the filter, let it all drip, put the plug back in, put the filter back on, fill up with oil, and you're done. Now, there's a cost of convenience. Like when I was coaching, didn't have a place to take the dirty oil, and you could stand in line and stay in your car and get it done pretty quick. That was kind of nice, but now I can do it for a lot cheaper, and I've got the time most of the time to do it. There's my spiel. Try changing your oil if you've never done it. you've got the means to do it, the know-how, you should get it done. All right, how much to put in there? That's a great question. I'm gonna pour it in until it starts coming back out at me. Like that. Guess I maybe ought to let that drain just in case I got it way too full. That would be the right amount of oil. All right, I'm gonna try to get, there's a roundup tote over there. There's some things in the way. I'm gonna try to put that over there, but I need this pallet jack. I think I can snake my way around. At least that's what I'm hoping I can do. I don't really know where to put this at the moment, so it's gonna stay right here. The problem is, no, it's not really a problem. There's just a few things to move. Like this is gonna probably be a problem with dirt, maybe. And a legit problem is this furniture. Why is there furniture in my barn? Well, the Dudensings are moving. We got us a new house. So we've collected some furniture because the current house is small. We don't have a kitchen table. Our new house is bigger. We need a kitchen table and we wanted a big one, so we got a big one. Came with those 4 chairs and a bench. It's over there. We bought this bedroom suite for our room. Facebook Marketplace. Emily's pretty good at it. So I got to get to there without hitting all the precious. Well, so far so good. Let's see. Mission accomplished. Well, I got a few more things I'm going to do before the sun goes down. I'm running out of batteries. I had all mine charged, so don't give me any drama about not having my batteries charged, because I did. I've just filmed a whole lot for you. So thank you, or you're welcome. I'm going to get that tote on the spray trailer. I'm going to get the tractor hooked up to the sprayer. The 8130 hooked up to the sprayer. I may run some water into the freshwater tank of that and blow out all the antifreeze. That's kind of what I'm thinking I may do. And what else was I gonna do? That may be all the time I have. Once I get that, I'll have less 100 gallons less water in here, so like 800 pounds less. So maybe I could check those wheel bearings a little bit better after that, and then I'll move it back to the front and probably go ahead and start filling it up and get it full so that I can have it ready for whenever I'm going to spray. So today's been a good day. It's been just trying to get all the little things done so that I can be busy with field work. The biggest thing I have left is I need to change a lot of seals on that shredder. It's leaking in the gearboxes, so I've got the seals. I just need to do that, but I'm not so concerned about shredding stalks yet because the wheat's so little, it's not growing. So I got to get the strip tilling done. I got to get all the fallow ground sprayed, and then I'll do some shredding where I think at least maybe I'm going to catch some wheat seeds. So I appreciate you watching. This is farming sometimes. Sometimes it's just getting everything ready, and then sometimes it's sitting on a tractor. You just keep watching. I'll keep farming. And if you're going to farm it.